What's going on, everybody? This is Brian Mazik, aka Unique Mazik, the hardest working man in sports and gaming. And I'm bringing you a video today for Operation Sports. We're going to be exploring the new options or new features for franchise mode on MLB The Show. And if you're familiar with my work, Forbes or my YouTube channel, you will know that I have long wanted, been waiting for the show or for Sony to add in the ability to rebrand, relocate, and customize teams. And this year they finally got it done. They still don't have Create a Ballpark, which is a whole nother story, but you can replace every team and rebrand every single team. So as you can see here, the cursor is on the Baltimore Orioles. If I want to take the Orioles out, create a new team, I can load an existing team. I can. The servers are not on right now, so we can't do that. But we can kind of look at the options. If you're familiar with Diamond Dynasty and creating your own team there, these options are pretty much the same. Depending on how good you are with the tool, with the creation tool, you can pretty much make just about anything. It just depends on how well you can manipulate the different shapes and things that are available. The colors are pretty much, unlimited. You just have to mix them around a little bit. The team location audio, team name audio, then you pick the abbreviation. You can go to the logo vault and see there's some predetermined images and some preset images that are already there. It's a lot of them actually. Or you can go in here to the logo editor where you can, this is the tool that I was referring to. You essentially just take all of these different shapes, and with the basic shapes that they allow you here and some of these curved shapes, you can put together just about anything. You can do these different gradients, different baseball themed logos. It's just really about being super creative with this tool, and there really aren't any real limitations except for, like I said, how good you are with the tool. Then with the uniform, you can design the home and away uniform, incorporating any of those logos that you've created or some that you may have downloaded. And then you can go here to select a stadium. So you can have your team play in the same stadium of the team that you're taking them away from. You can pick any of the other major league stadiums, or you can have them play. Their home field can be one of the spring training stadiums, the All-Star Stadium, any of the classic stadiums. Unfortunately, there aren't any new ones this year, or any of the minor league stadiums, which is a lot of them. I don't know. It feels like there's some new ones there, but I'm not totally sure. But you have a pretty good selection of where you're going to go when you're trying to pick where your team's going to play. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and totally rebrand your team. And I'm not going to get too fancy with it right now because it's not really the major thing that we're doing here. And then you can go ahead and save your team. This is important because if you save the team design, you'll be able to go back and pull this same team design at another time and be able to import them into another franchise. So that's a cool thing. So here you can, choose to control all of the teams like you could before. But one thing I also like is you can replace all of the teams if you want. So when they first announced this feature, I was a little bit nervous. I thought they were going to have it limited, where you would only be able to, customize one of the teams. And then that was it. But that's not what they did. They went with it all the way, and it makes it where you can essentially just do, swap it out with swap out all of the teams or some of the teams, any number or any combination. So here's some of the same stuff you could do before: GM contracts on or off, fantasy draft on or off. You can still allow the legend free agents in. There are some new legends. CPU roster control, you can turn that on or off. You can force trades if you want to cheat. You can turn on the designated hitter and have that auto or on and off depending on what, which is pretty much always the same. You can do, like I said, the fantasy draft, and with legends in, of course, you see a lot of different stuff. Now, you might be looking at my players here and wondering what's going on. Where I have a legends roster from MLB The Show 19 already loaded in. So some of these legend names that you see are not actually in the game, not officially, but some of them are. So At this point now, they're telling me I should pick Pudge Rodriguez. He's a top-rated player. He's a catcher. He's only 27 years old. But I'm looking at Eddie Matthews. He's only 21. So I'm going to take him. He's only 21. He's already a 99. So I'm not going to go through this whole draft. I'm going to go ahead and simulate the entire draft so we can jump to the end. And so here you can turn on the coaching task, leave them manual. Same. This is pretty much the same as before. Player development task, general manager task, all of that. I generally take this off of auto manage because some of that stuff I like to do. The coaching task, I definitely want full reign of my lineups and rotations because sometimes they will do some stuff with your team that you really don't want. So you can still skip spring training if you want or play through it. I'm not gonna. There's been some times that I've played through it. There have been. I must admit, it's probably pretty sad, but there have been some times that I've done that. So completed transactions. They want you to see this. This is pretty much mostly all the same stuff. You're just getting notified of the teams that have called up players, and because this is a custom roster, there's like a lot of roster movement right here at the beginning of the season. You see that 26 notifications. If you've ever used one of these custom rosters, this is not anything that's a shock to you. You've probably seen this before. So as I scroll through these, just to clear that out, I'm one of those guys that when you look at the menu, if there's an exclamation point that is like a notification mark, I like literally can't move on until I figure out what it is. So you see Don Sutton is starting in this game, and I didn't do anything fancy with the jerseys, so he has on a very horrible Walmart-like baseball uniform. But hey, Walmart sells uniforms too. So we're going to go ahead and look at what this looks like. I didn't change the park, which I probably should have. That would have made it cooler. So I'm going to, just for this game, this could have been my full-time home park. Wagon Man Stadium is what I think it said. And here's what I ended up getting with my fantasy draft. And Ichiro Suzuki, Jose Reyes, Eddie Matthews, Alfonso Soriano, the Crime Dog, Fred McGriff. We have 157 million left-handers, just so you know. Rafael Palmeiro, King Griffey Jr., Mickey Cochran, and Nellie Fox. Sounds like a great team, but so that's what it is. It's a Legends roster, so everybody's got a great team. So that's just what it'll be. So we're at Wagon Man Stadium. You see, I don't even have a logo. We are the team that never was and the team that may never be. I think this stadium may hold about 11 and a half people, but that is okay. One of the things that, like I said, I'm still missing is for it to have the create a ballpark feature. I think that has to be the next step when we're talking about really fleshing out the franchise mode. Tony Gwynn wants to lay down a bunt. This is young Tony Gwynn. May not be able to believe that based off of the type of player he became later in his career, but yes, he was definitely that was one part of his tools for sure, was the speed. So we're not going to play through this whole thing, just giving you a good look at the start of franchise mode. Oh my God, Tony put a little charge into that one, but we got it. We got it. So there you go. If you were wondering what's really new in the game and franchise mode this year, those are the major things. It's really all about before the season starts. There's some other things there after the season starts, but the major focus is on the customization. And if you are a hardcore franchise guy like I am, you will appreciate the new customization. It's probably going to take you a while to set everything up if you really go and use all of the options that are available to you. But if you actually do it, I think that it might actually end up being your most rewarding experience in franchise mode with this series yet. I appreciate you watching as always. God bless and peace.